turns out it's a bit hard to get inspiration for making videos when you don't do anything and sit at home all the time, which I know I said last time I wasn't going to do anymore, but last week was too hot to literally breathe, and now it's raining because that's UK weather for you. But I did have a thought. I thought I had a really fun outfit idea for coming up with outfits, is do a random colour generator and then try and have to make an outfit out of those colours. I went for just 2 because that would be a bit much if I had like too many colours to work with. But anyway, here are the colours I got, and we're going to see what I have in my wardrobe to make an outfit out of those. Okay, so slightly crazy and it might look terrible, we're experimenting. I have got these trousers, which are like almost the exact colour I got on the random colour generator. So we will try those. And I also have this pink dress, which, let me tell you about this dress. I got this in a vintage shop in Edinburgh. It's supposed to be authentic 1960s. My grandma says it's a 90, it might be. But that's what we're going to work with. It might look terrible and I might change my mind. And I might abandon the whole idea, but there we go. Okay, you're the wrong way up for a sec, so you can kind of see the full fit. I can't tell if I'm onto something or if I look ridiculous. In the mirror, I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know if the colours are a total clash. I don't know. I don't hate it. I've been trying to figure out how to wear this dress for ages because I got it... When did we go to Scotland? 2 years ago, I think I got this dress. And I've worn it twice and not to be seen by the public. It's both just been when I've been at home to try it out. But this could be a good way. What do we think it would look like with a belt? I'm going to try it with a belt. I only have one belt, so... Guys, the belt might have been a shout. The belt might... I can't tell. What do we... I don't know. Do you know what? We're gonna roll with it. I'm not mad. Alternatively, I'd pull it like I own safety pins. But I don't want to put a hole with a safety pin in a vintage dress. We're gonna roll with the belt. And now I'm gonna do my makeup, so you guys get to enjoy that. Okay, so I've got my sexy little toast in my hair. And I've got the base of my makeup done. I don't want to I don't want you guys to have to sit through all that because it can take a while. And I don't really do much yapping while I'm doing my makeup. But that's that. But I've had an idea. My eyes are not the most important part of my makeup. I've had an idea for ages, right? I've got these little star hair clips. I feel like they might be a bit big. But I've had an idea, right, of like using them as like an outline for a star on my eyeshadow. So I'm gonna give that a go. Again, I don't yap much when I do my makeup, so you get to come back and see the results in a second, but I really want to try it. I hope it works. Guys, I might actually be onto something. Look at that. I wasn't expecting that to work. That's made me quite happy. Okay, I'm gonna finish up my eye makeup and then we'll come back for the full. Oh, and my hair. I need to do my hair. We'll come back for the full reveal, but I'm actually so happy with those little stars. I didn't think that would work. Okay, so I went a bit overboard. I wouldn't say overboard, that's not too... I've seen crazier makeup in my time. But for me, I don't normally do like stars and swirly bits. But I'm not mad about how it looks. And my hair, I've given myself a side fringe. No, I just like how this looks. Honestly, in my head, this is memory of how my mum and my auntie used to wear their hair when I was younger. But I think it's fun. Let me twizzle you around for the full effect, guys. Whoa. Like, I don't know. I might take off the belt and do a safety pin. I don't know. Give me 5. I'm going to make up my mind about that. I'll be honest, the safety pin was, I was going to accidentally stab myself with that. But, just so you see, stand on my tiptoes, the effect of what I was going for. I've got a hair clip. This was the plan, just sort of make it a bit more, so you can tell that my body has a shape to it, kind of. Not that I really care whether you can see my waistline or not, but that was kind of the plan. Check it out, guys. You get to experience a new room in the house. No, it's cool. We're in the kitchen because I'm gonna make a drink. It's not very exciting. Basically, we have these little coffee things. It's basically like cold brew, and you put in. You're supposed to use a shot measure, I think, or maybe it tells you an exact measurement on there. I haven't made much attention. I've just made them. But went to Asda last night, and I got a milkshake. So I thought, in a day of experimenting, trying new things, instead of making it with just milk, I'll try making it with my milkshake, and hopefully it tastes delicious. So let's get right to that. So I do have glasses I normally use for these, which are, I got them, I happened to get for Christmas a couple of years ago from both my mum and dad. These little Smirnoff Raspberry Crush, is that the one? I think. Sets for Christmas with these really nice glasses, so I have two of them. Both the straws got put in the dishwasher, so that's a bit sad. But I got two of them. I normally use those, but one's upstairs and one's in the dishwasher. But I have this, which I got in a milkshake kit I got for Christmas. Freaking ages ago, I never drank the milkshake, but got the cup. So we're gonna twizzle you around, I guess, and you can watch me make my drink. Guys, is this fun? Is this cool? I don't know, we're gonna go for the vanilla one because I've got white chocolate milkshake. I was gonna get the vanilla milkshake, but I thought, when do you ever see white chocolate milkshake? So we're going for the vanilla coffee thing. We have this little shot measurer. Single, double, single, double. I think you're supposed to use a single, but it's quite a large beverage container, so we'll do a double one. Right. Look, I poured some. There you go. You ready? Ooh. That's probably too much. It's gonna be very coffee flavoured. Oh well. And then I feel like that's gonna spill. Apologies, guys. And then you go whoop, in there. Put your lid back on your cold brew stuff so that it doesn't get knocked over. Because I'm one clumsy girl. And then take your milkshake. You unscrew that. It's got a little thing I've got to take off. I feel like I'm supposed to have shaken it, so that's cool now. I'm going to put the lid back on. Okay, so there is a random cut in the video because I was halfway through recording that bit, ignore the gross sounds of me shaking my milkshake, and my phone decided that it didn't have any more storage for videos, which is really nice. So I've just gone through and deleted a bunch of photos and videos, which makes me a bit sad, but I'm ready for the milkshake pour. If this tastes gross, I'm going to be really sad. Ooh. Ooh. Now she needs mixing up. I need a spoon. I would say preferably a straw, but actually this is the straw from this very thing. I have the straw that came with the cup, so you guys don't need to see me mix. Okay, moment of truth, guys. It better be delicious, otherwise I've wasted my milkshake. Pretty good, I will say. I've had an iced white mocha from Starbucks, and I found the white chocolate syrup they're using that way too sickly for me to finish that drink. But this, pretty good alternative. I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty proud. Oh, what's up, guys? I'm sat on the sofa for just some talking. I need to start scripting these videos, I think, because I'm like, oh yeah, I need to sit and talk for that bit, and then I don't know what I want to say. So that's good. Oh, do you know what? It was nearly 2 weeks ago now. It will be 2 weeks ago tomorrow, but I've not recorded anything since then. But we don't live far from Goodwood, which is pretty cool for me. And for those of you not aware, Goodwood has got an aerodrome, which is for airplanes, and a motor circuit, all in the same place. They've got a really nice cafe. We go down, we see my dad likes to go see if the Spitfires are about, which I'm also not mad about. And also if there are cars going around on track, that's pretty... No complaints about seeing some cool cars. And we went down a couple of weeks ago on the Wednesday, because that's my dad's day off. And we're walking around, we're like, oh, there's loads of cars going around on track. First of all, there was this, I think it was Dallara were down there. I don't know what type of car it was. I think I established it might have been some sort of Lamborghini. It looked like the Batmobile and it was sick. It was friggin' awesome. And then walking around and my dad's like, oh, that car, isn't that the one Jensen Button drives at Goodwood Revival? And I'm like, oh, maybe actually. And then there was another car parked up in the paddock. So I was like, oh, I'm sure that's the other Jaguar that he drives. And then we're like, oh, well, we can't see anyone about. Might just be a coincidence, you know, maybe he just stores them here. I don't know if that's the next Goodwood event coming up. Festival of Speed, I think. But anyway, and then walking around, we're like, oh, there's a guy, one of the drivers sat over there, looking through some, I don't know, there were laptops, probably telemetrics, I don't know, fancy racing data. And we're like, oh, that's weird, that's cool. Wouldn't be so random if Jensen Button was here. And we're like, oh, that guy kind of looks like him. So went for another walk. There was some really nice Golf livery McLarens actually, which was pretty nice to look at. And there was like a couple classics. So anyway, we looked around some cars and then we walked back again and we're like, oh, I really think that's Jensen Button. That's weird. Like, he really looks like him. And then we established, oh my God, that is Jensen Button. That's really cool. We go, we walk, we put the dogs back in the car because someone didn't know how to behave. He was barking at anything with a pulse. They were fine in the car. It wasn't too hot. Windows were cracked, right? We finished up our coffee and Dad's like, no, you have to go talk to him. And I'm a bit like, that's a bit scary. And the man's trying to work, you know. And I thought, okay. And I was like, okay, well, if you're going to make me talk to him, you have to come with me. So we leave the dogs in the car. We walk back over. We're like, oh, he's gone. I was like, oh no, I can see him stood over there. I will insert the picture I took because I was too scared to talk to him. So I took a sneaky pic. I was like, oh yeah, he stood over by like the pits, by the actual track. So we're like, oh, we can walk that way. We can walk that way and we can also see the Dallara cars that are there. We didn't know it was Dallara at that point. We walk over and as we're walking over, I'm like, oh God, he's walking towards us. Oh God. And he just said hi and we saw, I was in full panic mode. I was like, holy crap. He's very tall in person. I mean, I was kind of aware he was tall, but in person, very lovely. He said hi to me and my dad. I have my hair the same way, actually, random. But it's like, I don't know, I don't think I fully processed it. Because that man is the whole reason I love Formula 1 in the first place. The first driver that I was like, yeah, that guy. Not in a, I fancy him way, slightly. I was like 6 at the time, so. But I mean, I've always been a McLaren fan since the Jensen Button, Lewis Hamilton era. I reckon 2009, 2010 is when I first started, when I first ever watched an F1 race. But I mean, I was obsessed with that man to the point when my mum was pregnant with my youngest brother. I spent 9 months convincing her to call him Jensen, and we very nearly did. But no, so that was really cool. That was very cool. I deeped it the other day. And I was like, I went to, when I was younger, my favourite Formula 1 drivers being Jensen Button and Sebastian Vettel, which, by the way, I think pretty good choices as it goes, right? We were, as a household at my mum's at the time, definitely a Lewis Hamilton household. My little brothers are still obsessed with Lewis Hamilton. Completely valid, I get it. But then I've grown up. I sort of, around 2015, I think I stopped really watching F1. Got back into it 2022, maybe in lockdown. I don't know. But only in the last few years I got super back into it. And if you know me, you know it's kind of not my thing, but like my thing. I'm obsessed with this stuff. And then, like, so I've gone from, basically, the whole point of this ramble is I went from my favourite drivers being Jensen Button and Sebastian Vettel to Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. And I think they're pretty like for like. All I'm saying is McLaren driver from Somerset and 4-time champion with Red Bull. So I clearly haven't changed that much since I was 6 years old. That's really the only thing that's happened in the last week or so. I see your tail wagging, Ben. You can come over here. Ben! Benny! No, he's sleeping. Those were sleepy tail wags. Good dream, obviously. That's, yeah, and that was 2 weeks ago. Have I really not done anything in 2 weeks? Nothing? I remembered. This Wednesday, my dad and I went shopping. This Wednesday, it's Tuesday, so Wednesday last week. My dad and I went shopping, which was because he wanted a shirt for work. So we went down, did some nice shopping, and we're out. I'm in a cute outfit, I think. I've just been in Next to have a look around because I like Next, but it's a bit pricey sometimes. And I look around and I think, oh my god, the zip on my skirt's broken. So it's like the zip down the side had come apart, but it was still done up at the top, so I couldn't even like undo it and then try and... I had to cut myself out of it when I got home. So RIP that nice skirt. I was like, oh shit, I'm walking around with a broken skirt here. I tried to cover it as best I could with my handbag. And then I thought, okay, well, I wanted to look at H&M anyway. I've not been in a H&M for ages. And I thought, oh, well, as I'm here, I'll just get a skirt to replace this one. I'm sure there's toilets, or I can change into it in the changing rooms, right? Every time I thought I saw a cute skirt in H&M, it was a long skirt, by the way, and I hadn't shaved my legs, so I needed a long one. It all turned out to be trousers, and that's not an issue. I don't really wear those like flowy, patterny trousers. If you do, I'm sure you look great in them. I just personally don't, which is fine, obviously. And I thought, okay, where the hell else can I look for clothes around here? And there was an M&S, so we went in there, and I did get a very nice skirt, actually similar material, similar length, complete different colour and pattern, still floral though. So yeah, I did get a new skirt, which was nice, and it's nice to go shopping. And hey, guess what? This week, guys, Monaco Grand Prix. So I've got that to look forward to. I'm working on Saturday, so I will miss qualifying. But that's okay. I can watch the race on Sunday and have a lovely time. Fingers crossed. It's been looking... Well, I say it's been looking up for the McLarens, because, I mean, I don't actually want it. I'm saying that after Canada, actually. Which wasn't great. But I was having a lovely time. I really enjoyed watching my favourite drivers DNF, and then just not a good race overall. But all Mercedes customer and all the Mercedes engines are having to change for Monaco, I believe. So hopefully that, because I'm pretty sure Lando and George both were out of the race with very similar issues. So I'm assuming is engine problems. So hopefully new engines. Sorry, the postman scared me putting something through the letterbox. Hopefully new engines means that's not an issue. Also, 1,000th race for McLaren, which is so freaking cool. Very freaking cool. I like the livery. It's cool. Everyone's like, God, it's so much better than the normal livery. The normal livery is the last few years McLaren have been doing a Red Bull, right? And it's just been pretty much the same the last 3 years. But Zach Brown has said it's because it's the livery they won the constructors in 2024. That is correct. Can't believe I had to second guess that. And then they also won drivers and constructors again in a similar livery in 2025. I kind of get it. I kind of do. But I love to see a livery change up. Put some chrome back on that car. Is what I'm saying. The chrome liveries they've had at Silverstone in the last couple of years. Mwah. What else was a very good livery? The Senna livery was cool. That was a very cool livery. The Triple Crown livery they had in 2020. Was that 2024? I believe. That might have been 2023. Whatever year they had the Triple Crown livery, that was pretty cool. Wow. I've ended up having an F1 rant on a video for the first time, so that's a fun... Expect more of that in the future. Maybe I'll do something for Sunday afternoon, do my Monaco race review. Maybe that'll be fun. I think I've run out of talking points now. I live a dull life. Yeah, guys, I can confirm. I really don't have anything else to talk about. Which is a bit sad. Do you want to see my dogs? You can see my dogs. Say hi. You want to say hi? I just woken her up from a nap. And Ben is fully asleep, but we'll take you to see Ben anyway. We can round off the video by saying hi to my dogs. Benny! He's fully asleep. Look at this guy. He's not waking up for anybody. But yeah, I live a very dull life. I'm a bit of a grandma, you know. If I see a fancy tea blend in a shop, I'll probably get a bit excited about it. I panic a bit if I'm not in bed by 10 o'clock. I'm not necessarily asleep, but if I'm not in my bed. Right. I live a dull life for a 21-year-old. So you've heard about all the most exciting things that have happened to me in nearly 3 weeks. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me. And please stick around some more. And maybe, if you fancy, subscribe to a girl to maybe keep her motivation up. I did say last time that I said there's probably going to be Sundays, but Tuesdays needs to work out as the best sort of recording, editing, uploading day for me. So drop out Diaries Tuesdays. So thanks. Bye. See you next time.